Electricity exists in two forms. DC, the direct current, is where electricity moves from either left to right or right to left, in one direction. And AC is the alternating current, that keeps changing its direction from left to right. But how do you even produce a current that keeps changing its direction? Well, in 1831, Michael Faraday discovered an amazing phenomenon, that if you take a coil and a magnet, and you move the magnet inside the coil, that will induce electricity in the coil. But not only when you move it inside it, but also when you move it outside it or around the coil. Basically, any way you move either one relative to the other, the moving magnetic field will induce EMF, aka electricity. Later, people were quick to point out that if you have a rotating magnet close to a coil, that will create a current due to the movement of the magnet, but its direction keeps changing, because the direction of the current is dependent on the poles of the magnet, and since the rotating magnet was constantly switching its poles that are facing the coil, that made the current in the coil keep switching its direction as well. And thus, the alternating current was born. And in 1834, Russian physicist Henrik Friedrich Emil Lenz studied the electromagnetism properties of the alternating current. Because at this point, people already knew that if you run a direct current through a coil, then it will act as a magnet, an electromagnet. So he wondered, what will happen if an alternating current runs in a coil? And he found out that it also turns into an electromagnet. However, the poles of that electromagnet will keep changing their position because of the constantly changing direction of the current. But wait a minute. So if you run an alternating current through a coil, that means we created a magnet that keeps switching its polarities. Where have I heard about this before? It's just like the rotating magnet. And after testing it, it turned out that it works exactly like that. So if you run an alternating current through a coil, then it will simulate the magnetic field of a rotating magnet. That means if you put it next to another coil, then it will also generate an alternating current in that coil as well, that you can use to charge your battery or whatever you want to do with it, without any wires in between them. And that is the basics of wireless charging. And that will be $40 for your wireless charger. That's a cool story and all, but I just bought the phone. Shouldn't I get the charger for free? Ha! We're Apple. We're the only company with the decency enough to charge extra for a technology that was developed more than 100 years ago, and act as if we created it for the first time.